Bobby McCarty, Connor Zilisch, and Mini Tyrell reacted to the wreck that took place with less than 40 laps to go during the Cars Tour race at Orange County Speedway that completely changed the composition of the race. Bobby McCarty and Connor Zilisch were involved in an accident that saw both the second and third place drivers collect not only themselves, but also Mini Tyrell, Cade Brown, and Trayton Lapsevich, who were running in 4th, 5th, and 6th positions at the time. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at John Trent Racing. Before we get into what McCarty, Zilisch, and Mini Tyrell had to say, let's take a look at the wreck here. This is over at Flow Racing on X. Bobby McCarty is in that black car in second place. Connor Zilisch is in the orange and white number 28 car right behind him. Mini Tyrell is there on third on the bottom of the track with Cade Brown right above him on the top side. And then Trayton Lapsevich is there in that number 77 car in 5th position with Caden Honeycutt bearing down on him. And then you've got Carson Quaffle there in 7th, right underneath of Honeycutt. Let's take a look at what happens here. Everything is going really well. Zilisch is peeking to the inside, kind of thinks about it again, then goes back inside, and then bang, clips McCarty there in the left rear wheel. Nowhere for Cade Brown to go, slams into the rear of Mini Tyrell. Tyrell does indeed slow up, but he continues his forward momentum and gets through it. Let's take a look at it again here. Zilisch looks under, then makes the move. Contact is made, spins out. Mini Tyrell checks up. Cade Brown hits Mini. Lapsevich tries to go high. Bobby's already there. And you can see there that Zilisch is on the bottom, spun out as well. McCarty would retire 10 laps later, would not be able to finish the race. Zilisch would go to the rear after making some repairs. So would Trayton Lapsevich. I think both of them would be right around the top 10, if not in the top 10. There would be some controversy with Mini Tyrell. He would look like he would be starting in second place, would maintain his position due to the caution, given the fact that both McCarty and Zilisch were involved in the wreck and they were going to the rear and went to the pits to make repairs. But when they decided to go to the choose cone, they sent Mini Tyrell to the rear, saying that he was involved in the wreck. I thought that was a terrible decision by the Cars Tour. And they should have, if they were going to make that decision, it should have been made very early. So Mini Tyrell could have actually gone and maybe done some repairs to the car, get it back out there, because he seemed to be one of the only cars that was up there in the top 5 that didn't really make any hay after he was sent to the rear of the field. And it's probably because he had some damage to the car resulting from that accident that he was unable to repair because they sent him to the rear of the field right when they were about to go green. But we'll get into that and we'll listen to what Mini Tyrell had to say about that here in a bit. But let's first listen to what Bobby McCarty had to say. McCarty and his team owner, Marcus Richmond, did confront Connor Zilisch in the PRG hauler, the PRG that is Zilisch's team. So you can see here, this is from Matt Weaver, shared an image here on X, and you can see them having a conversation there in the hauler. And then this is what Bobby had to say to Matt Weaver regarding the accident here. Let's take a listen.
Fix it and come back.
Were you cleared, or were you just trying to pinch Connor hard? What was happening there?
No, I was clear. And then I don't know. I haven't seen a replay, but I know I was clear. So I know 3 and 4 is a really wide corner. You can take a lot of different grooves. But I'm assuming it was just a dive bomb for whatever reason, which is, it's racing, man. It's Orange County. It's hard to pass, and we had the car to beat, and I'll just leave it at that.
So that is what Bobby McCarty had to say. He believes that Zilisch dive bombed him. He believes that he was indeed clear, and he does call it racing, but clearly I think that he was not too happy with the way that Zilisch did indeed race him there. And Zilisch was racing really hard throughout the field. I felt like he would get underneath people, and then he would kind of really door slam them a lot, trying to push them up out of the groove so he could take that spot from them. We saw that with Mini Tyrell earlier in the race. It looked like he was going to be doing that with Bobby McCarty as well. It seemed to be working until obviously that when he didn't get to the door of Bobby McCarty, only got to his wheel and did indeed ended up spinning out and wrecking the top 5 behind him. This is what Zilisch had to say to Matt Weaver following the race.
Did you guys find some common ground there in the big meeting?
Yeah, no, I I obviously have a lot of respect for Bobby, and you know, he's a guy that I've looked up to racing these late model stocks, and you know, I never want to end the race with us racing for the, you know, what was maybe going to be the lead, and then, you know, ended up at the back. That's not what I wanted, and you know, I know it's not what Bobby wanted either, but you know, it's frustrating. We had a really fast Pinnacle Racing Group Chevrolet today, and you know, I feel like we're gonna have a good chance at the win if we could have gotten by them clean, and just frustrated with, you know, how it played out, but you know, that's racing.
What was kind of the viewpoint of that from what you saw, not only with Bobby but Mini too?
Yeah, you know, I got to Mini first, and when I got to Mini, I didn't have a scratch on the car, and you know, Mini was running me hard and you know, chopping me pretty good, and you know, we were side by side for 5 or 6 or 7 laps there, and you know, it was just, we weren't getting anywhere, and I was getting frustrated, and you know, I started, you know, entering lower into 3 and kind of running up in the center because I wanted to get by him, and you know, he didn't like that, but you know, he was running me really shallow into 1, so it was making it really hard on me, and, you know, put me on the apron. So you know, I had to do what I had to do to get by him, and you know, then when I got to Bobby on that restart, I got to his outside off 2, and he ran me into the fence, and you know, I wasn't too mad about it, right? I kind of expected it. I got about to his wheel probably, and you know, I started backing out of it, and we still touched. But then going into 3, I got to his inside, and you know, first of all, I don't think he knew I was there, and you know, he was running more so of a diamond line than a lot of the other guys I was passing. So you know, I think we just met in the middle there, and you know, it ended up with both of us getting sent to the back. It's not what I wanted, and you know, I'm sure they're all upset, and trust me, I'm upset too. And not only because I, you know, caused an incident maybe, but you know, I'm upset because we didn't get to you know, race for the win with a car that was capable of it. So you know, we'll move on to the next one. We're going to Wilkesboro on Wednesday. I can't wait to see that place with the new pavement.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too. Like, I don't know that you guys or anyone had anything for Brent, but just the chance that you couldn't have the opportunity to try it out, is that kind of the disappointment too?
Yeah, honestly, that's the frustration for me. You know, I feel like we did have a car capable of winning the race. Honestly, you know, we came from 12th, and we're racing for 2nd there with Bobby when the incident happened, and you know, I wanted a chance at the win, and that's all we asked for when you come to the racetrack. We had to change 2 motors this weekend. We were on motor number 3, and these guys were up at, you know, 5 a.m. this morning trying to get this thing ready to go. So, you know, just having a good run feels really good, but when you have the car capable of winning and you don't get the chance to, you know, race for the win, it's frustrating.
So that is what Connor Zilisch had to say. I will agree with him that I did think he had a car that could compete for the win. I disagree with Matt Weaver on there. He was definitely working his way through the field, had gotten to Bobby McCarty, and I thought he probably could have been able to pass him potentially if they were able to race it. Obviously, he was having trouble with Mini Tyrell, as he said there. They were racing really hard. It was some of the best racing of the night was between him and Mini Tyrell for those like 10 laps that they were side by side. It was great racing, and you could see that Zillich was getting frustrated because he was indeed kind of running Mini up the track, and then he was getting frustrated with that too, as he was indeed trying to pinch Zillich down. But I definitely feel like Zillich had a car that could compete for the win. I think it was probably those 3, Brent Cruz, Zillich, and Bobby McCarty had the best 3 cars out there. Maybe Carson Quaffle as well. But I think he never really got that track position until the end and was really kind of the beneficiary of the wreck. As far as his assessment of the wreck, I kind of more tend to agree with Bobby McCarty. It did look like he kind of went in there really late, made the move. But it was a racing move too, and Bobby might have came down on him a little bit, but I don't know. I think that Zilisch was kind of at fault there, kind of went in, clipped him in the left rear wheel, sent him around, and basically wrecked everyone. That's kind of what it looks like from my point of view. But I do see how he was there. I mean, he got his nose there, but McCarty was already in the turn, was kind of doing that diamond move that he was saying. But that's kind of my assessment. But that's what Connor Zilisch has to say. Obviously, agree with a little bit of what he has to say. Disagree with some other portions. You'll have to let me know what you guys make of that. But let's listen here to what Mini Tyrell had to say regarding the Cars Tour ruling about sending him to the rear of the field, as well as what happened during the wreck, because he had a front row seat to it, and then his racing against Connor Zilisch. Let's take a listen.
I don't know, man. 28 was just beating the door off me every chance he could get on the bottom. I mean, I don't know if I maybe come down on him a little bit or not. But I mean, every single chance he got me. I mean, every single corner, it was just boom, boom. I mean, I was touching the outside fence in 3 and 4 about every lap. So, I don't know. And then I guess he gets up there finally, and after he runs through me and then gets to Bobby and just flat out dumps him right in front of me. Obviously, I got nowhere to go, so I ended up hitting him. And I never stopped forward momentum. So I'm not sure exactly what the rule is for that, but I never stopped. I downshifted in a second. I kept on going, and then all I know is that I'm now in the back. So it's really unfortunate, but it's also unfortunate when you got 3 cars that are all running for points up front, and you're going to go up and race people like that. So, it's unfortunate, but, we just need to keep on bringing fast race cars to the track, and super proud of my guys again. We had a really good car. Maybe not the car to win the race, but I think we definitely had a top 3 to 5 cars. So, I can't thank everybody enough for getting me here. The boys at Convenience Tire and Auto, BDL Motorsports, Opsalma Sheds, Kirkland at IPOC, Solid Rock Carriers. Just everybody that supports me and gets behind me. So, unfortunately, we'll knock this down as a bad race, and we'll move on and keep digging.
Is it extra disappointing, I guess, because we've talked about finishing races, top 10s all year, and you were in position to do that, and you had a car that could have done that, and you didn't get it. Is it extra disappointing because of that?
Definitely hurts. Just knowing that we were too loose all night. We went out there and we were fighting tight all weekend, and we went out in qualifying and kind of tried to throw a couple things at it. It worked really well in qualifying. We ended up qualifying 4th, and but I thought we had a really good, probably 2nd to 3rd place car at that point, and I was just trying to bide my time. Everybody was racing so hard at the beginning and just not giving anybody an inch. But it's just unfortunate when you get up there and somebody dumps you or dumps somebody else, and then you barely touch them, and then they send you to the back. So.
You feel good about Ace?
So that is what Mini Tyrell had to say regarding the wreck between Connor Zilisch and Bobby McCarty, as well as the way that he felt that Zilisch raced him. Obviously not too happy with the way Zilisch raced him. From my point of view on that, I definitely felt like Zilisch was indeed running him up the track pretty hard when they were racing for 6 or 7 laps. And I think Mini's assessment of the situation that he was getting door slammed pretty much every corner was accurate. That's what it looked like to me when I watched the race last night. And then, again, like I said, I agree with Mini as well here on his assessment of what Zilisch did to McCarty. Went up there and just kind of dumped him, and that's exactly what it looks like, I think, on the replay. And clearly that's what it looked like from Mini Tyrell's viewpoint from the windshield, right? So that is what the drivers that were involved, 3 of the drivers that were involved in that wreck had to say. I think it's safe to say that Connor Zilisch didn't make a lot of friends out there at Orange County Speedway last night. Obviously, I don't think Bobby McCarty is none too pleased with him, and it doesn't look like Mini Tyrell is either. So we'll have to pay attention to this, see if that is something that might bubble up or come back to the surface as they move forward. I know Zilisch isn't running a full-time Cars Tour schedule, but he is running part-time. And he's already won a race in the Cars Tour as well. And obviously he's racing in top equipment. So anytime he is there, he is a threat to win. And he's racing against some of the top contenders this year in Mini Tyrell, who was in second heading into the race in points. And then Bobby McCarty, who I think might have been in the top 5 heading into points as well, and was your winner last time out. So at New River Valley American Speedway, or New American Speedway, I think is what it's called. But here is your finishing order. This is over at Short Track Scene. And bring us over right here. Brent Cruz was your winner. Caden Honeycutt second. Carson Quaffle third. Connor Hall fourth. I think he still is your points leader. Chase Burrow in 5th. Excellent run for him. Katie Ettinger 6th. Ryan Millington 7th. Timothy Peters 8th. Lane Riggs 9th. Lapsevich did indeed get back into the top 10 after being involved in an accident. He finished 10th. Hefner was 11th. Andrew Grady 12th. Brendan Butterbean Queen in 13th. Camden Gully 14th. Zillich was able to recover for a 15th place finish. Deke McCaskill finished 16th. Clay Jones was 17th. Mini Tyrell obviously was unable to recover, finished in 18th. I think he might have been the last driver on the lead lap. Not sure if Buddy Isles was on the lead lap or not. I know he had went down a lap earlier in the race, so I'm not sure if he was like the lucky dog or if he was still a lap down. Brandon Pierce 20th. Connor Mosak 21st. Chad McCumbee 22nd. Bryce Applegate 23rd. Bobby McCarty ended up in 24th. Like I said, he exited the race 10 laps after the accident. Parked the car. Cade Brown, who was involved in the accident as well, he parked it almost immediately, finished in 25th. Ronnie Bassett Jr. in 26th. Isabella Robusto was involved in an accident earlier on. She finished 27th. Mason Bailey, I think, had mechanical issues. He finished in 28th. Landon Huffman was involved in an accident on like lap 3 or 4 of the race with Logan Clark. They finished 29th and 30th. So that is your finishing order. But let me know what you guys make of what happened in that wreck there that changed the entire composition of the race. And what do you make of what Bobby McCarty, Connor Zilisch, and Mini Tyrell had to say? Who do you agree with? Who do you disagree with? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you guys thought of what exactly happened. Let me know, as I said, in the comments below.